probably be between now and the next week or so. But if we don't hear in the next week, Michelle, we probably should reach back out to them and find out where it's at. So that's where it's at right now. So it's in limbo until we hear back from the DNR, and the DNR is advisory only. So we'll see what they have to say.
Back to correspondence, I will just tell you, I've had at least 15 people email me and or call me, obviously in favor of the ordinance. I will say I'll have about 3 to 5 against the ordinance. But people have reached out. If you sent me an email, if you sent it to the other board members, the reason I don't respond is I don't know if he's going to respond or I am, and I don't want to get caught up in some type of a quorum problem. Because we can't start communicating about this, that, talking to you, and then all this discussion. Okay? So I did see your emails. Okay. Questions?
Dick, did you have anything you wanted to add from the last meeting? No? Okay. Thanks.
Anything, Josh? Building inspector. The building inspector.
This information is pending. I don't have any.
Emergency management plan is my category. I will tell you that I will be having another meeting with the school. I don't know how many different jurisdictions will be there, but the school's putting on another meeting in regards to emergency response to something terrible happens, whatever it is, a shooting at a school, natural disaster, whatever. It's getting a little more organized. Michelle was with me at the last one, and Terry and Michelle will be going with me on that. So that's a very, very much a positive thing. Officer, do you heard a little bit about that or not?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you heard a little bit. It's a good thing.
Absolutely. Yeah. Unfortunately, I mean, all we need to do is, turn on the news and, any day and see the importance of planning for everything from fires to shootings and everything in between. So I think it's great to be proactive instead of reactive and plan. So, and everyone in small communities like the town of Palmyra or village would be quite a few people that might say it won't happen here. And we know that that's not the case. It can happen anywhere at any time. So I applaud you guys for trying to be involved in that, no matter how big or how small your community is. Very smart. So.
Thank you very much. Okay, well, let's move on. And you want to play the part of the sheriff over there? The sheriff's report?
Sure. I'll just pretend that I know what I'm talking about.
Well, we need more speed enforcement. Get out to Tamarack Road, okay?
I mean, as you know, and I've been an officer in the village of Palmyra for over 7 years, and we'd love to work with you guys more. We provide mutual aid for the township as much as we possibly can when the county requests. So we're happy to serve, although not our primary response area, we're happy to serve the township residents, not only as fire and EMS. I'm also a firefighter and a paramedic. I'm one of those weird guys that used to do all three, but we're very happy to assist the county to be in your township. You have great people. I'm glad to help out when the need arises and the sheriff department asks us to respond. So.
Thank you. We're very appreciative that you do that, and so thank you for everybody. Thank you.
Okay. Here comes a good one. New business, number 1, discussion regarding tax bills in the sum of $18,870.20 issued to the town to cover real property taxes on airport hangars as request for direction on the manner of payment of the bills that are due 1/31/25. Jonathan, take it away.
Yes, so obviously this has been an issue kind of hanging around for a while now, and I did have a conversation with Stan Riffle, the attorney for the village. Basically, what we kind of thought might be a good course forward would be to, for myself, Stan Riffle representing the village, and a representative from both the town and the village to meet to kind of mediate this this situation to see if we can figure this out together rather than becoming enemies over it. Hopefully figure this out together and find a path forward I also did reach out to the Department of Revenue. I had sent an email to them asking for some guidance from their municipal division there. They did respond back saying that they would review the information that I had sent to them and give me an opinion on that. I'm just waiting to receive that, so hopefully that can give us a little bit further guidance.
Michelle, what is the penalty if you don't pay on the 31st? You know,
1% for me,
which is
12%, oh, I didn't do the math.
$188.
Josh?
Do you, when are you meeting? Did you talk about any dates for the meeting? No.
Michelle and I, along with Jonathan, with whoever they choose, because Riffle, he probably reached out to Kathy or what?
I don't know if he has reached out to her or
I
not,
will.
but
I'll reach out to him. Or leave here, buddy. Okay, and see what we can set up and that. She seems to be decent with me, I'll keep it that way. Let's get this resolved.
She's also not running again, so the term was up in the air, so how much she'll be.
Let's hope she does the right thing. What do you, what would happen to our, well, we know what would happen if we don't pay the taxes. What's your feeling if we, don't pay that? What's your opinion on that?
well, in part, I am hoping that I'll have a little bit more information from the Department of Revenue. This is essentially right in our ballpark, and I can give another opinion if things don't work out working directly with the village. I am hopeful. There's a good conversation with Attorney Riffle, so I think at least trying that path forward first is our best bet at this point. There would be other options, of course. Not pay the bill. The village isn't going to get the money, so we're going to get penalized. There would be options to go through the court and basically ask the court to do a writ decision on the matter. Of course, you're going to incur attorney's fees and other things out the village as well. But sometimes we run out of options.
Josh?
Or, of course, we pay it and then do the work to figure out who will go out. But again, my opinion right now is that we're not the taxing authority, and it should not be our responsibility.
Agreed 100%. Now, having said that, the amount of man hours that she, you know, she's already working 50+ hours a week here, people.
It's okay.
Well, it's not okay when she's in here at Saturday night till 9 or 10 o'clock or, Sunday morning.
Well, it's supposed to be a part-time position.
Yeah, so that's just more work incurred for her. Let's, what do you think about, I'll reach out to Kathy, see how quick we can get a meeting. And we have to have a special board meeting or something this month to decide what we're gonna do after.
Well, wouldn't the quickest way to find a date for that meeting to have Jonathan talk with Stan, because they're probably their calendars that are gonna set the meeting date and their availability versus yours and Kathy's, I would think.
Sure, I can reach out to Stan.
Okay.
If you'd like to go that route.
It's probably the quickest way to get it, because.
Okay, I agree with you, Ryan. Yeah, that's what I said that, yeah. So you'll reach out?
I mean, we've got one on Wednesday. We've got one with them on Wednesday. Is that the time to start or not?
Well, I had asked for that to be put on the agenda for Wednesday. I don't know if it made it to the agenda.
Well-
or if the village even would agree with that to have it, but, we're having at least some, I don't know. Should we have it on our agenda for the joint meeting, or just wait for your meeting to stay?
I think it would probably, I think it would be best for me to reach out to Stan first to see, again, I don't know if he's even brought this to the attention of the village. That's how we want to move forward with this, the meeting of the town and the village here, so, that might be a little quick and might catch them up. So I would suggest maybe I reach out to Stan to see, what it was, but of course, time is a yes.
Let me throw something out there. I don't know, we may have touched on this in prior meetings, I'm not really sure, but as long as you're here, and I agree with you that we're not a taxing authority, and if we paid it, then we can try to get the money back from the landowners. There's no guarantee that they would pay it. And I'm not in favor of spending money, the town's money, if we're not gonna get recouped. Has there been any discussion of why the village doesn't build the airport and have the airport pay this and go after get the money back from the hangar owners themselves and have the airport pay it?
I have not had that conversation.
No, I know you haven't, I'm saying, I mean, I think there's a third option here, with not just, the town pays it, the village pays it. I think we should look at, or at least discuss between the attorneys and the airport, whether they should be the ones that are billed for it, pay it, and then the airport tries to get it, or goes to their hangar owners and get it back. They may have more luck than we do.
The airport's not a tax collecting authority either.
Well, yes, no, but in the same boat we are, but they're your hangar owner. Your commission is made up of hangar owners. So I think logically, I don't know if I can say it better than that. Just throwing out there's another option than the ones we've talked about so far, so.
So it looks like we'll leave it that Jonathan gets a hold of Riffle and sets the meeting as soon as possible, correct?
Given that, should the airport, or will you represent the airport in that meeting as well? That's gonna be part of the discussion. Should Jeff be included, or will you represent as part of the commission, will you represent the airport as well? Or would that be a conflict? Or do you not, or is the airport not needed in the meeting?
I'll have to think about that. I'm not sure I have an answer for you right now. The bill is obviously the town's, and the bill is from the village, not necessarily, although it does concern the airport. Yeah, I'm not ready. Yeah, I don't think I can make a decision if someone from the airport should or would need to do that.
But the town could give the bill to the airport and ask that they pay for it. So.
You're saying the airport commission. Or the airport.
Okay, airport commission, whatever that.
So at this point, are we all in agreement that we'll let Jonathan set that date as soon as possible? Josh? Make a motion that we get with our attorney, set a meeting with myself, Michelle, and whoever from the village on this as soon as possible. Motion.
Oh, I second.
Okay.
Right.
And there's been a second. Any further discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Motion carried. Number 2, discussion action on the Tamarack Road project, including final scoping, funding, and project timing. Josh?
So I put together a summary, generally of where we've been with this whole thing. We applied in fall of 2023, for NOLA funding through the TRI program, to repave 4,300 feet of Tamarack Road from the village limits, going south-ish. That project was submitted as a construction project. There was an option to towards construction, coming up this spring here, we've got a decision to make or a set of decisions to make as far as what the future of the project is. Do we want to do the project in 2025? If we do want to do the project in 2025, do we want to put in a change for the project to be hot mix purchase versus bid it out as a construction project? If we do bid the project out as a construction project, we would need to retain an engineer to put together project plans, bidding documents, those types of things, and then move the project forward through that. So really, it's kind of two decisions in one. Do we want to leave the project as it was submitted, or do we want to request a change in scope? If the latter is the way the board wants to go, then we need to work with the county to essentially put that hot mix purchase into their bid that will be coming up here within the next 2 months or so.
So if we do it that way, then we get on the list and get it done, all rights paid and get it done this year.
Yes, it's essentially, do we want the county to do the work, or do we want to bid the project out? If we want the county to do the work, then it would be hot mix asphalt purchase. If we want to bid the project out, we have somebody like Paint and Dolan, whoever, come bid on the project, then that would be the other avenue. There's kind of two different forks in the road, depending on what that decision is. But the county does need to know relatively promptly if we want to be included in their bid quantities, and then we do have to get the approval through DOT to do that as well.
Well, Josh, wouldn't we bid it out to be able to see what the county's quote to us, how it compares to doing it externally?
I've got a project estimate from the county at this point, and if we were to bid the project out, the county could still bid on that project, but by the guidelines of the TRI program, they would have to come in more than 10% below the lowest private contractor to still be able to do the work, which would be pretty tough for them to do.
What's the engine, what did you say, we had to get an engineer or something, or?
If we're gonna bid the project out to have a private contractor or contractors do the work, we would need to retain an engineer to put together the project plans per the guidelines of the funding. It's not something that I can put together on behalf of the town and circulate.
What kind of costs are we looking at for that, potentially?
20,000-ish.
So if we would,
Just using I was gonna say just using standard 10% of the construction costs would be somewhere around 20.
right, so,
Without asking anybody.
so,
We could get quotes from an engineer, bring it back to the next month's meeting. Hopefully, definitely pushing the timeline, getting in with the county's bid for HMA.
right, and so basically, we would have to bank on the bids coming in $20,000 less than what the county would charge us, otherwise it'd be a wash. And I think it's done quicker with the county, so, okay.
Why does it not make sense just to, do it now? Buy the hot mix, whatever, and just get it done? With the county. They did a good job out here. I've actually had a couple people, they get the asphalt out of Paint and Dolan over on 12, right? That's Paint and Dolan. And the way I understand it, they have about the best quality mix out there, according to some of these guys I've talked to on road crews. So the way they mix out there is about the best blend, or whatever you wanna call it.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, if we had a dissatisfaction with the work product that the county did for paving, that would be why we would want a private contractor to do it.
Is this, help my memory here, Josh, is this the portion of Tamarack that we put in and we've got the $30-some thousand of grant money that we have to use in 25? So basically that's paying for a good portion of that road through grant. If we don't use it in 25, we lose it?
Say that last part one more time.
If we don't use it, if we don't use that grant money in 25, do we lose it?
No, the sunset is 2028 funding, so we would be able to, if we wanted to, we could sit on it for another year, and still fund the project out. We had, when we applied for it, technically it was the 24 and 25 construction season for the dry funding, and you have to put in whether or not you're looking for funding in 2024 or 2025, just so that they know how much money they need in year one of the pool. But there's a sunset on both of those, and it's 2028 before we lose it.
But the longer we wait, the more expensive it's gonna be and the more percentage that the 30-some thousand covers of the total cost. So.
Yeah, last year asphalt prices had come down. Last year being 2024 versus 2023, it was down slightly per ton. Whether that trend continues or it goes the other direction, obviously, if we had a crystal ball, we'd be doing something different.
I'll make a motion that we move forward with the project, buy the asphalt and get the job done this year.
When's the deadline to, sorry, you wanna go for more discussion? Josh, are you seconding or?
If no one else will, yes.
Okay, we have a motion to move forward with the paving project, buying the asphalt and using the county. And a second, is there any further discussion?
Yeah, just a quick question. When is the deadline to let the county know?
When I spoke with Sean the week after, actually the week in between Christmas and New Year's, some of his supervisors were still out for the holiday. I have not been able to circle back to figure out what their deadline is, but last year they put the bid out, I believe, the third week of March.
Okay, so we have,
We did Spring Lake Drive.
so we have some time yet to make this decision or? Okay, all right, thanks.
Any further discussion? Okay, a motion and a second has been made. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Nay.
Motion carried. Number 3, update and possible direction regarding on-street parking on South Shore Drive. Well, I do have good news that I was able to locate ordinances on parking out on Blue Street Lake, and specifically the Shore Drive problem we talked about last month. Bear with me. An ordinance was adopted, ordinance number 283, back in 1983. An ordinance to create section 7.117 of the municipal code of the town of Palmyra relating to parking restrictions. And from where the new pavement ends, a little over 1,000 feet is supposed to be posted, no parking on both sides of the road in the southerly direction. That actually gets it up over the top of the hill where all the complaints that the citizens that live out there, residents, have been complaining about. And all we have to do is post it. So we don't need to really act on it. It covers that portion, and we can go that route. Furthermore, I also mentioned finding that ordinance in the same year, 380. Again, everything on North Blue Spring Lake Road from the Y, right to H, is no parking the whole way, up and down that, both sides of the road. And I went out there and discovered that there's signs, but you can't hardly read them anymore. They're so faded out, so I'll take care of re-signing that. But if we already have that ordinance, we don't even have to act on it, we can use the 1983 ordinance. Okay?
Did you say 1,200 feet, correct?
It's roughly that, 1057 or something like that. Without looking. So that should cover that area at least. I couldn't find anything else past that, so. But again, if you pay attention, folks that will look at it, actually look to the side. If you turn off H on the North Lewiston Lake Road, you'll see a big sign there. It's just the whole road. But signs have fallen over, gone away, and they never got replaced. So we'll take care of that on both issues. Any further discussion on that? Nothing? Number 4, approval of refunds on tax overpayments to an Angela McAdams of $116.65. Dawn Ingerthron, $27.01. Michelle?
Pretty self-explanatory, they overpaid on their real estate taxes and are entitled to a refund. I'm just looking for approval to do that tonight.
Make a motion, we issue the refunds to the people in mentioned.
I'll second it. Any further discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, number 5, discussion and possible direction on Airport Commission's request for independent authority to construct and approve tenant leases. Jonathan? Number 4, number 5. Discussion and possible direction on Airport Commission request for independent authority to construct and approve tenant leases.
Sure, so as it stands now, the ordinance basically says in section 3, sub J, the commission shall prepare and submit for adoption by the owner standard leases and agreements for the various types of airport activities and land uses authorized in this ordinance. So essentially, the airport commission has to submit to the owner the standard leases and agreements that they would sign with the people who would be using the airport. So right now, the authority is with the town for these leases. And the town how they like to go forward. They keep the ordinance the same or modify it to give them independent authority to construct these leases and approve them.
So do we need to take a vote on this, or we don't have to do anything, it's already in there, right?
Well, what they're wanting to do is they're wanting us to change the ordinance so that they can do it.
Right.
And it's up to you two gentlemen to decide what you want to do. I'll give you my opinion. I'll give you my opinion that I don't think we should lose control, but I'm not going to vote on it. I have to abstain because I'm on the airport commission.
Well, that was my question to Jonathan, because it's already set up that way that we are already responsible for those. Do we have to take any action? They're asking us to take action, but there's nothing, unless somebody here wants to make a motion that we approve their request. If nobody wants to make that motion, then there's no action for us to take.
Correct, then there would be no action.
Okay, and furthermore, we've got to bring that back into where even the airport commission has control. We have some leases, there are no leases. And we're supposed to have all these leases, a copy of the town by the ordinance. So I don't think we want to give that up. So
And I totally agree, we don't wanna give that up, so. So, Josh?
Any action?
Okay,
Okay, no action on item number 5.
but do we wanna make a formal request to the airport commission to list the rest of those uses?
Michelle's already working on that, that's not on the agenda.
Here, we should work on this one.
Old business, number 6, discussion and possible action, property owner's duty and financial responsibility for tree removal in the road right of way. First thing I'll say, I did a little digging. Actually, I'm lying there, my wife did that. A little digging on this. And as close as I can come up with something, this is under the Town of Palmyra ordinance and regarding public nuisances. 90-01, so we're going back a while there again too. But under paragraph V, subsections D, two that could apply to where I think maybe a letter could go out to an owner. But again, this would be the highway committee to look at. I'm going to read both of them. Section D, obstruction of intersections, all trees, hedges, billboards, or other obstructions which prevent persons from driving a vehicle on a public street, alley, or highway from obtaining a clear view of traffic when approaching an intersection or pedestrian crosswalk. That's one. But the other one is dangerous trees, E, all trees and limbs which are a menace to the public safety or are the cause of substantial annoyance to the general public. Now, I'll just ask this question. Does that mean that Mark Montgomery over here, he's got a tree definitely on his property that falls into the roadway, we have to go out and clean it up and get it off the road? Can we send, with this ordinance, can we send Mark a letter stating he's got 30 or 60 days to clean that mess up out of the right of way? Does that give us enough, or do we have to make a special?
I don't think I've read that ordinance. I did draft an ordinance, which I sent to Josh. Josh, I don't know if you've had a chance to review it yet, and we haven't had a chance to talk about it yet, so it's kind of in the early stages here where it would, in effect, allow the town to do what you just described. I'll look at this ordinance as well. This ordinance.
That's just a parking. Yeah.
Regarding public nuisances, but essentially it says that with this new one that at some point the town can decide to go forward with an ordinance or not. We would say if a tree or debris resulted from an act of God into the street. So act of God is a legal term. Like a storm or something comes through, lightning, all of a sudden there's a huge tree from private property now in the middle of the road. The town may still recover the cost of abatement from the property owner under Wisconsin statute 66.0627 if the property owner failed to maintain the tree or if the town acted to protect public safety. So there's kind of, it doesn't mean that every time that you would be able to do it. Of course, the town's responsibility is to remove that hazardous tree or debris. But ultimately, with how I have it phrased right now in this is that town will remove up to the point that it removes the hazard, give notice to the property owner to remove the remaining portion there, and would have to reimburse the